Cherry Bakewell. Now, Isabel and Isabel's mum chose this recipe, so I've never made it before. So let's go. Let's have a look. Right. So first things we need are 250 grams of plain flour. We need 1 teaspoon or half a teaspoon of salt and 2 big spoons, so big ones, of icing sugar and a little water and some chilled butter chopped into little cubes. Okay, now you can do this in a food processor if you want, but I haven't got a food processor, so we're doing it in a bowl. So put the flour in, you put the icing sugar and salt in, and then you put the butter in. Now this takes a few minutes because what you want to do is you've got to rub it. You just got to rub it into the flour, because if you don't, what happens is you don't get a very nice pastry, and if the butter is too warm, then it won't be very nice pastry. But you can also buy short crust pastry if you wanted to, rather than making it. But I just thought I'd make it. It's really not that hard, but it just takes a bit of time to rub it in. If you've got a food processor, it's a little bit quicker, but it just takes a few minutes just to rub it all in. And what we're trying to get it to look like is breadcrumbs. Okay, so thumbs up if you all understand that one. Yeah, well done, guys. Thank you. So I'm just going to quickly rub this in. When you do it yourself, it's really nice to get your hands in and get all gooey. But we're just going to rub it in. We're nearly there. Obviously, in the processor, it would be a little bit quicker, but because we're doing it like this, it's nice to get your hands dirty as well. So I like doing this. So the challenge was sent to me by Isabel and her mum. So hopefully, someone's just joined. Hello, everybody. So hopefully, it'll be all right. Just want to say thanks to Isabel and her mum for it. So once we've got it, so what we can do is, when we know it's ready, we can push it together like this. It looks like a solid, but it all just breaks apart. So that looks like breadcrumbs. Okay, let me just wash my hands. So hands washed. Right. Next thing we're going to add in here now is 2 egg yolks. So what we do is, I've cracked 2 eggs in here already, but I only want the yolk. So what I'm going to do is just over the sink, and I'm just going to, you won't be able to see this, but I'm just going to get rid of the actual white. So I'm just left with the egg yolks. Give them a squeeze and push that in. As you can see then, I'm just mixing it all in. And it just starts to stick together. It sounds quite difficult to do pastry, but it's actually really not that bad, as long as you just take your time. And you just give it a mix and it's all starting to come together. Okay, then we're just going to add a few drops of water just to bring it all together. Now we've got to remember not to add too much water, just a few drops. If you add too much water, it's not very nice pastry. So that's all mixed in. Wash my hands again. There we go. So now what you would do is wrap this in cling film and pop it in the fridge for 30 minutes. But we haven't got 30 minutes to wait, so we're going to pretend that I popped it in the fridge. And then I'm just going to put some flour on my unit. And then, so we are just going to roll it out. Now here, I've got a rolling pin, but it's a special rolling pin because inside I can put water, which keeps it cold. So that means when you roll it, it doesn't heat up the pastry at all. So normally this would be a little bit firmer because we'd obviously put it in the fridge, but we haven't. So you need to roll it out to the thickness of a £1 coin. Okay, so once that's rolled out, you can put it in your tins. Now, you can make little tins or you can make big ones. Here, I'm making some little ones. As you can see, I've done some already. So all you do is, and you can cheat with this one, I'm going to roll it all out and place it on. So what I do, grab a ball, roll it into a ball, and then in these tins, I put a little bit of butter and some flour so it doesn't stick. Then shake all the excess off, it doesn't stick. So what I do is then, because this is just like shortbread pastry, you can just push it in all the way up to the sides. It would be a little bit colder than this, obviously, because it's been in the fridge, but how much easier is that rather than doing the whole thing and rolling it all out? So once you've done that, you need to get a fork and you just give it a little stab all over. And then once you've done them all, you get some greaseproof paper and you pop it on top like this. Now, if you're not sure how to make that little greaseproof paper, all you do is you get a square like this, and then you fold it in half. You fold it in half again, and the bit that's got the fold in it there, not the open bit, hold on to that, and then you fold it into a triangle, and you fold it into another triangle, so now it looks a bit like a cone. Then what you do is you get the tip and you measure from the middle to the end, and then you just cut it off like that. And then when you open it up, you have a circle that fits in there. So that's that one. So then what we're going to do is, now I've got baking beans, but if you haven't got them, you can use uncooked rice or uncooked pasta. And all you do is you put that in there like that, and then you put that in the oven for 15 minutes at 175 to 180 degrees. If you've got a fan, just reduce it a little bit to about 170, and then that will go for about 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, take it out, and then you take the greaseproof paper off, and then leave it for 5 more minutes, and then it will look like that once you take it out. So we've taken it out now. Let's just clear up a little bit first. Wipe down my unit. I'll make sure we're all nice and clean, haven't we? Right. Now, the next thing is we are going to mix the inside. Okay, so for that we need 125 grams of melted butter. Lovely. And then we need 125 grams of caster sugar in the bowl. And then we need 125 grams of ground almonds. We're just going to give that a little mix as we go. There we are. Now to this mix, you need to add, this is almond extract. So got just, it says half a teaspoon, but I like to put a whole teaspoon in because I like flavour of almond. If you don't want it too strong though, you can always use half, okay? Like that. So as you can see, that's mixing in nicely now. The next thing to do is add one egg, one whole egg, which I've got here. Just tip that in. And I'm going to give that a good mix. So that's the centre of your Cherry Bakewell, nearly about ready. First things first, now we need to do. So I've got some cherry jam, say about 3 tablespoons of cherry jam here. Okay, I'm just going to put that on top of the pie and spread it out like this. Once you've spread it all out at the bottom, now you don't have to do what I'm going to do next, but I've got some little, some little cherries. Now these were growing on the tree in Woodlands. So I picked them when I was there doing some tidying up on Friday, and I put them in the fridge, and then now I've de-seeded them. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop them all over the base. Like this, which is nice. And then all this just adds a little bit of extra. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to. But I've just had some fresh cherries from school, so I thought, oh, I'll use them. There we are. Right. Now next, what we're going to do is we are going to put this mixture on top of that. Best way to do it is with 2 spoons though. So you just put little blobs all over, like so. Just as I'm doing this, will be a second now. So this is it. I just put little bits and blobs all over. This just makes it easier when you're just trying to spread it out a little bit. Because if you do it in one big thing and try and spread it, everything will come up. So. Just trying to get it all spread across nicely. When you put it in the oven, it'll all spread anyway. But if you just get it to the edges as much as possible, like that. Once you've done that, and spread it all over, like that, you put it in the oven for 35 minutes. Oh, no, there's one more step, sorry. One more step. Flaked almonds, forgot the flaked almonds. So then you just sprinkle the almonds across, as many as you like. Then that goes in the oven for 35 minutes. If you find in the oven that it's actually starting to go brown on the almonds, just put some foil over it and then cook it for the rest of the time, for 35 minutes. Then, once you've done that, it will look like this. And it will look like that. So what you do is then, So as you can see, I haven't had any yet, so I don't even know what it looks like inside. So what I'm going to do is just cut a piece. Delicious. Yum. So also what you can do is just so there's a little bit of extra. So in here, I've got some icing sugar and a tiny bit of water mixed in. And then all you do is just drizzle it across like this. And if you wanted to, you could add some cherries to go on top of it with the ones that I have already got. If not, you don't worry about it. But I'm just going to put a little cherry on, little cherry on that bit. And guess what? Mmm.